If you're thinking of starting a YouTube golf channel in 2025, I would say 99% of you are going to fail. I would say within 6 months, 99% of you will stop posting videos and your platform will just be collecting dust basically. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I've been doing YouTube golf content now 4 years, and I posted a video probably about 2 years ago, and I came across it when I was checking some video analytics, and even today it's in my top 20 viewed videos for this month. So people are clearly, watching that video because they're thinking of getting into golf YouTube, where I recommend sort of, some startup gear and basic bits and pieces for you guys, who might be thinking of starting a YouTube channel. But 4 years in, obviously I've learnt a lot now. I know a lot more. It's my full-time job. And I just thought it's a good time to revisit this whilst, people are thinking, probably because we're getting into summer months and golf's the hobby, and there's that many YouTube channels these days. It's always something that you might be thinking of starting. But I would firstly start by saying, the return on investment of time, investment of money, for the equipment that you need, YouTube is the worst platform that you could sort of try to become a content creator on. I wish somebody when I first started would have sort of advised me on starting on a social media platform like Instagram or TikTok. I mean, I'm 36, so I wouldn't be looking at TikTok, but Instagram I'm using as an example because one of my friends, James, mid-handicap golfer, James Addy, he's a busy guy, he's got a couple of kids, he's working. He came to me for some advice. Obviously, he wanted to start creating content. And I said to him, what are you really wanting to get out of this? And it's more for it, because it's his hobby, he wanted to share his journey. And, obviously, I think he's going down the right path. He's focusing on Instagram. And I think if you're thinking about golf YouTube in 2025, you're crazy, because, I'll always say this, I was so lucky I got into it in YouTube when people sat on their arse at home, they couldn't go to work, they couldn't go and do the hobbies, they were bored to death. I had people from Canada, Australia tuning in just because of our accent and because we're British. I was getting followers left, right and centre. Obviously I had some support from one of my best mates, James, who were creating content as well, and kind of briefly lived with him in lockdown. So I've had a nice pathway into YouTube, but it won't be like this for everybody. And even me, with all support I've had, the amount of time we put into this for the return is poor. But I feel like I'm kind of stuck in this route now. Not stuck, I mean, I love what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is if you had this opportunity, if I had this opportunity from the start, I see a lot of these Instagram profiles get far more support from brands than I'll ever get. And the time that they put into creating the content's minimal. They're creating 30-second to 2-minute videos, which require probably 15-20 minutes of editing, if that. And the return on their investment of time is huge. They're getting clothes sponsorships, they're getting club deals, they're getting all sorts thrown at them. And then there's people like us who are grafting, doing 9-hole vlogs that are taking 3 hours to edit, and we're lucky to make £50 through Google AdSense, So I just want to sort of be quite clear that if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel and you haven't got anything unique that's gonna grab people's attention that no one's already doing, I really think your return on investment of time, you could be far more successful starting on social media. That would be my advice, is look towards a social media platform. Instagram, can you build that platform? Because they're the easy ones to build. If you can start to build one of them platforms and get yourself 10, 15, 20,000 followers, then you can have an audience to then, at least if you start creating YouTube content that's going to take you 4 or 5 times the amount of time, you can already have an audience to try to cross over then, to make it sort of, make your time more valuable, so you're not just sort of making all this content. I mean, I've seen some fantastic content on YouTube from people that's only got 100 followers, and it's far better content than I'll ever make, but they've got no audience. So you've got to have an audience. So yeah, before you start a YouTube golf channel, my advice to you is build some sort of social media platform. If I can't talk you out of that, you know, because it don't matter. I could talk till I'm blue in face. There'll still be people, and still people close to me who's come for my advice that won't follow it. Um, you know, what kit would I suggest you go and buy to start a YouTube golf channel? So your essentials is microphone, it's audio. Like you cannot go and create golf content without some sort of audio because of wind, noise damage, background noises, and things like that. So I've got two bits of kit. This one is fantastic value now. So Saramonic Blink 500 Pro X. When I bought these were £279. I went online just to have a look because somebody, well, it was manager at Rotherham Golf Club actually. I think they're, you know, might be starting to create a little bit of content for a pro shop. He asked me what he'd recommend or what I'd recommend, and I recommended these, and they've come down to 149 now, so very affordable. I know you can go and probably get some mics for like, you know, 30, 40, £50, but trust me, when you're creating golf content, you can't just get budget mics because sometimes you might be stood 60, 70 yards from the camera, so you need some long distance range mics that, you know, they might say they pick up to 100 yards, but when you get to 100 yards, it's crackly, it cuts out and stuff like that. These won't let you down. Saramonic sounds. I started with these, and they're my backup mics now. If you really want to go out all out there and you want to be the best, these are what everybody's using. All the top content creators. It's the DJI 2 microphones. They're compatible with cameras. They're compatible with like mobile phones. So whether you're creating Instagram content or YouTube content, to be honest, it would be the same recommendation. I mean, I use these for short videos and full videos. So you've got to have good microphones. They'd be my two recommendations. Yeah, I can't think of any cheaper alternatives really, unless you're going to you know, you don't want to sacrifice quality. Then what do I film with? I mean, I'm going back to that original video. I went out and bought a camera against my best mate's recommendation. James said to me, "Guys, use your mobile phone." I'm like, I'm not using my mobile phone. I'm going to be professional at this. Went out and bought a Canon camera, filmed about half a dozen videos with it, and realised that I weren't a videographer. I'm just a golfer. So if you go out and buy a proper camera, get ready because like it's not automatic. You know, like obviously when you're on a golf course, light conditions are changing. You know, sometimes you'll be under trees where it's a bit darker. Just throughout the day, you know, if you're playing twilight golf in evening, the camera won't automatically adjust. So it's just a minefield basically. And then when you come to sort of editing, trying to move files off an SD card onto a laptop, it was just absolute chaos. It was taking so long. And James said to me, the advice that I didn't listen to is like, Gaz, get an iPhone, get an iPad. You can just airdrop everything, you know, from one to another. You've got iMovies built into obviously Apple. Make your life easy. So that's what I do. That's what I do now. It's dead easy. It's just iPhone, MacBook. Everything's done through iMovies. You know, it's so simple. If obviously you're an Android user, I'm sure there'll be other options for you. You'll be able to get an Android phone. I'm sure you'll be able to get an Android laptop, you know, and I'm sure they'll have their own editing software. But think about that. Like, you don't need to go and get a big fancy camera. The mobile phones these days are fantastic. I use an iPhone 14 Pro, which I will upgrade because with a 14 Pro, I don't know if you've got an Apple, you'll know what I'm talking about. The camera zooms in 3 times. So when you sort of hit a shot, if you're hitting it like 200 yards, for example, you can track the ball flight and zoom into the landing. Obviously, if you get the newer model phone, the 16 Pro or potentially the 17 when it comes out, that zoom will be 5 times or even 7 times. So it just means as you zoom into the landing of the ball, you'll get better clarity. So obviously, as it's my full-time job, I'm just waiting for the 17 Pro to come out. And if that 17 Pro camera's not a big improvement on 16 Pro, then I'll just get the 16 Pro because obviously it'll be better value. But yeah, you don't need to go out and buy a camera. You can start with a mobile phone, which most of you will already have. It's just a case of then how do you transfer them files, because they're very big files. So I feel like you need to get a laptop that's compatible with your phone and you can transfer, you know, via like AirDrop or Bluetooth, that kind of thing. Final point, I always get asked on this is how do you do your shot tracers? You know, I've seen some really poor efforts at this. There's so many free apps for shot tracers. If you're going to create full-time content, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, there is so much value in just downloading Shot Tracer Pro. Yeah, it's the most expensive. It's going to cost you probably about £105 a year. But if you're getting into this wholeheartedly, it's the biggest or the probably like the most expensive piece of software you're going to buy, but it's essential. You know, Ollie, lad I filmed the other day, he's starting to do some reels, and he's that new to it. I've kind of, you want to see if this new people stick it, don't you? Like, so I've not said anything. You encourage him, but he's using some sort of free app. When he uploads it, like, it seems to be losing all the clarity. So he's put a few things on TikTok. He's got a fantastic phone. I think he's got iPhone 16 Pro or 14 Pro. So he's got the technology to film the video, but by the time he's run it through like a poor app on Apple that's free, it's took all the, like, I don't know, resolution, should we call it, or the clarity away from the video. It's gone dark. The line's kind of pretty bold and you don't get to see the ball. So, you know, Ollie might even be watching this video, Ollie. In a few weeks' time, if you're still creating this content and you're spending the time to make these reels, I will come and advise you more. But I think it's for someone close to me. Obviously, I want to see that. You know, you can't go around telling everyone what to do, can you? You've got to let them have a bit of free spirit. But I did for my mates to be spending all this time, you know, investing into making the content for it to come out 20-30% of the quality it should be coming out. But yeah, let's see if Ollie keeps up the continuity of doing it, and I'll try and help him a bit more if I can. But for you guys as well, I just don't waste all your time creating the content to then run it through cheap software that ruins the videos. You know, I'm not an expert at this yet, and I'm still learning. But yeah, no, that's just a little bit of food for thought for you guys if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel this year. I mean, you might be starting a YouTube channel not for financial reasons, not to make any money, just for fun. But even then, I think like if you put yourself out there on social media, like the rewarding part is getting views and it is getting likes and interaction. You know, building an audience. That is what you'll ultimately like judge yourself on. And I know myself from some videos I post on YouTube, I'm too long in tooth now. I don't get down when I post a video and it has bad results. I look at it as more as a weekly and a monthly sort of thing. But you know, some videos I've posted that I thought are going to be fantastic on YouTube, and they've got 1,000 views. You know, and I could have posted a picture of my cat on Facebook and got 1,000 views. It's like it's so demotivating, and I just think you've got to think about like where you start. And I wish somebody would have got me started on Instagram. I'll use James Addy as an example again. You know, James is getting free stuff now. He's got some free clubs. He gets free clothes. He's only been doing it 6 months, and you know, some short content he's making. It's great quality, but I know he can do it like that. He just, you know, a video of him hitting a shot, runs it through Shot Tracer, puts some music over it, shouts out to, you know, a brand who sent him a club or a bit of free gear, and he's building a fantastic profile. He's getting loads of rewards, and I've no doubt if in 2 to 3 years' time James wants to start a YouTube channel, he'll have a great audience to start with. He's made connections with brands, so he can then speak to these brands saying, I've now started a YouTube channel. I'd like to take it to that next step. Can you support me in any way with equipment, financially? You know, he's got no... He's already built the bridges, hasn't he, into the brands. And yeah, anyway, I feel like I'm blabbing on, and you know, I just don't want to, you guys thinking of starting a YouTube channel this year might listen to me. And you know, if you don't, all the best. I wish you all the best with it. But it won't be easy. But you know, prove me wrong. Listen, like I'd love for you guys to do well. I love what I'm doing. I just wish, I just hate for people to waste so much time for to get a little return. You know, if there's someone like me that can just stop in and make you think in a different direction. So guys, that's a little bit of a knowledge from me, and I hope it's appreciated. It all comes from the right place. You know, I've always got your best interest at heart. But if you do decide to go down that route and you don't take my advice, I wish you all the best. I hope you have all the success in the world with it. And I've got to say it. If you're new to the channel, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers. And yeah, it'd be great to get you on board. Guys, thanks for watching the video. And we'll hopefully meet at some point on a golf course. Bye.